Ignorance is at an all-time high. Cats don't even know how to do the wrong thing the right way. And that's been my slogan for years now, but it is really the truth. And it's not what you do, it's how you do it. And they ain't doing it the right way, y'all. It's just been so much going on. As always, nothing new is under the sun. But I guess since we got this whole internet, we're able to see things a lot more quicker in its totality. And again, I want to reiterate, ignorance is death. See, one of the things y'all need to understand, I don't care how bad you think you is, you not worse than the devil. And I can break that down too because there's different variables of bad, the definition of bad, evil, etc. But what I mean is, even the devil shunned ignorance. Even Satan, whatever you want to call him, he was afraid of ignorance. Don't nothing respect ignorance. And nothing in the universe. No, not an insect, not a bird, not nothing. And ignorance is not knowing, and there's nothing wrong with not knowing, but not wanting to know is the problem. And the arrogance of a lot of people, ignorance is it's gonna cost you, as it costs everybody, me included. But I'm really thinking about this as far as, see, in a lot of ways, we lining ourselves up for destruction, meaning you're not gonna qualify yourself from the grace of God, so to speak. Like when you do that, and I mentioned this before, as far as that whole drill talk, you don't disrespect the dead. I don't too much recommend that, in most instances, especially over something as a minimum as gang and street stuff, as serious it as it may be. But again, like I said, don't nothing respect ignorance. Not even the devil. He's afraid of ignorance because ignorance you totally lost. You understand? It's nothingness. So you don't want that, man. And another thing, when I'm saying as far as lining ourselves up on another note, and trust me, it's a cause and effect to everything. You know, black on black violence is actually a product of white on black violence. And of course, nobody's pulling the trigger to your head, making you do what you do. And that's what I want to talk about because when I make statements like that, people be like, wow, what you mean? How is that so? And this goes back to the whole structural racism. So, again, and Malcolm X even spoke on this as far as the propaganda element. So, when you out here doing certain stuff, they highlight it as if, hey, look, these is just criminals, bruh. These is just thieves. So they can't claim racism. Look at them. They breaking the law. They're not racism. You understand what I mean, y'all? So now, of course, there's a lot more to it than that. Because again, even when you so-called do the right thing, whatever that is, but let's just say you're a so-called upstanding citizen, like during the civil rights era, it was still racism and Jim Crow or whatnot. But then again, that's where Martin Luther King was quite effective on the propaganda dynamic and the whole nonviolent tactic that he used. Because he wasn't no weak man as they would like to portray him as. But anyway, that was one of the things because since he pushed like that when that was going on, it made the U.S. look bad because it was blatant racism. See, now it's a little bit more not even a little bit, a lot more clandestinely hidden because they got the excuse of you breaking the law. So then they can really drop the hammer time on you, like for real. And it's always gonna be overkill concerning us. And it's been proven throughout the criminal court system where you be convicted of the same law somebody that's non-black and you see. So that's one of the things that I need everybody to be aware of in terms of just being non-ignorant of and the type of world you live in. And don't get me wrong, I like to party and bullshit just like all y'all. But at the same time, I understand what time it is, and I'm definitely willing to do what I gotta do for me and mine, as you should too. But at the same time, once you put yourself in a certain position, are you operating with a certain energy, excuse me for lack of better words, you open yourself up for not only just the hammer of society, but I'm even speaking as far as your spirituality or whatnot, because people tend to not think of that because we all gonna die. You understand? And one of the sayings, never die alone, and that's more than just having people attending your funeral. But I didn't want to too much getting that in this video, but it's a lot more, and it goes back to that nothingness, or a Christian would put it, being erased from the book of life. But really, I think it has something to do with whether you want to call it God or just the universe. Once you violate the laws of the universe, you're gonna have it coming, and that's what I think what's going on with us. We being propped up and set up to violate the laws of the universe. Therefore, the punishment is going to come to us naturally. And we kind of forfeit certain blessings or righteous just due that's coming to us. But if we not in a proper position for the just due that's coming to us, who knows, man, we may miss it. And I ain't trying to too much preach to y'all, but I'm gonna tell y'all what it is in terms of that. But again, like I said, man, don't nothing like ignorance. And this is the information age. You're really gonna have to bust down on certain issues and treat it just like it's school. Go through that boring phase and really figure out what's going on out here. Not only on a personal level, but just on a community level. But I'm even thinking bigger than that. But it starts with the individual. And of course, man, nobody perfect. I damn sure ain't perfect. Trust me. I done did the worst of the worst with the worst of them. So again, like I'm saying, but it don't matter when the things you do is real, as far as whether it's for righteousness or not, or intent. Because hell, good people do bad things. Bad people do good things all the time. So it's not necessarily about the action, it's the intent behind the action. So y'all need to be thinking about all that. And I don't care what y'all say, call this square biz or not, but this is that stuff you need to know. Because you're going to learn it one way or the other. You can trust me on that one, that there. And this Bad News Brown breaking it down for y'all once again. But yeah, man, do away with ignorance, man. And I mean it, even including but not limited to. And I ain't just talking about go to school, get no education. But then again, you gotta learn something, all that, and you really need to know everything. So, but I'm thinking in terms of just the stuff I'm seeing out here in these streets, man, and what I'm hearing as far as the news reports. And of course, there's a lot more to it, but a lot of it is rooted in just dumbass ignorance. And I'm gonna keep it 100. And again, like I said, man, don't nothing respect ignorance. And then that's really the main issue I want to emphasize in this video, that you actually should run away from ignorance. You should be afraid of ignorance. If Satan is afraid of ignorance, I think you should be too, if that's the so-called ultimate evil out here in the universe or whatever. But again, like I said, don't nothing like ignorance. Hell, I don't even be damn if it's some space aliens out here controlling things. They don't like ignorance either. I can guarantee you that. Because they ain't pulling off what they pulling off being ignorant. Now they may be using your ignorance against you, which is of course going on, and that's for profit, and that's for various reasons. And don't get me wrong, certain things gonna take place naturally. You know, you're gonna have people that's just gonna be naturally better than others. You know, but then again, that don't mean you don't need to be striving not to know, man. Striving for perfection, you know, not even perfection because it ain't no limits. You can get better than perfection, you know, it's an infinite amount.